Welcome back, everybody, to the 2025 Derby City Classic. This is the final of 3 divisions. It is the 9-ball division, and it is round number 5. I am your host, Scott Frost, and like I just said, we are playing 9-ball. It is a WNT ranking event. That means that the 9 will rack on the spot. There is a break box, winner break from there. 3-foul rule is in effect, and jump cues are allowed. Neither of these players have a loss. Roberto Gomez got a win in round number 1 by forfeit from Justin Hall. What they might be discussing now, which I'm pretty sure they were, is talking about the 2-ball, which is the blue ball, but it will be racked randomly, meaning you cannot rack it in the same place over and over. These guys are trying to make the 1 in the side pocket. They are so good, though, that they can start to play position if you put the 2 in the same place. Historically, they'll figure it out. Gomez to break in game number 1. And he's got the 3 down. The 1 did come very short of the left side. He'll try to make that adjustment. And early on, tested with a long 1 ball. This type of shot here, you might not want to roll. Can he even get to it? Touching on that, this is the only angle I have. It definitely works. It's the best angle that I'd like to have. There's one camera. But if he can make the 1 here, I would not let up on it or just try to trickle it in. I think you've just got to let it go. Yeah, a little arm movement there for sure in the back arm early. Very early in the first shot. So the way he put his cue down on the table tells me he was maybe trying to 2-rail the 1 back there behind the 7 and 9. Just caught it too thin. Really got into that ball. Probably a little more than he'd expected. It's going to be fine. I think he can just roll forward. And speaking of he, Fedor Gorst, no losses. Last round, he ended up beating Rob Saez 9-1. So Gorst feeling pretty good. And some other news with Gorst is he is in the finals of not just the bank pool, but also the 1 pocket. Championship Sunday is a new thing at the Derby City Classic, so he'll be waiting for Championship Sunday, and I'm certain that he'd like to make the finals of all 3 events, which would be insane. But for now, he'd just like to win this match. Probably more so, just win this game. These guys do not think that far ahead. They deal with what's right in front of them and work from there. Gomez knows how good he's got to play to win this match. You don't have to do anything spectacular, but you better be solid. Pretty quick work. And it's something I've noticed in Fedor's game, especially at the Derby. He picks his pace up quite a bit. So much pool here with the bank pool and then the 1 pocket, then the rotation or the 9-ball, that you just start to flow. I mean, literally flow. What a 2024 Gorst had with the Gorst Slam. Winning the World 9-Ball Championships in Saudi Arabia, the World Pool Championships, and then also, in my opinion, the toughest event in the world to win, the U.S. Open, defeating Shane Van Boening in the finals. SVB was going for number 6. How how many more chances will he have to get number 6 in the U.S. Open? Earl Strickland and Shane are tied at 5 wins apiece there. SVB now 43 years old. It does not get any easier. Gorst to break, leading 1 game to 0. Look for the 1 to go on the right side here. Yeah, not only look for it, look at the pace at which it travels on the right side. He is really underrated in the break shot from afar. When you start to talk about his game or take a look at it, his break shot and the power that he really possesses is up there with the best of them. And I'm talking just about the break. You know, there's several guys, at least a handful, Kachi, FSR, Shane Van Boning, that really power into him, Albin. Gorst is obviously one of those guys. Not much to cover here. Just want to carry an angle on the 6. Boy, oh boy, what a layout. Take a look at how he really double checks things. Does he come between the side and the 7, or does he come past the side? Okay, between the 7 and the side, pretty cute. 8 does not play to the top right, so he'll have to hold here, but he can just drift this in with a high outside ball. Very clean. And that's all it takes. Shot number 1 from Gomez on the 1, trying to play defense. It went south. It's cost him a minimum of 2 games. Game number 2 goes to Fedor. Using the Accurac, we're playing on 9-foot black diamonds. They are blue labels. They're 4.5-inch pockets. They call those Pro Cut. And I can promise you, we're into the final event. These tables play snug. You better catch the pocket fairly clean. If not, you better have the right speed, or that ball will not drop. He would love to repeat his last break shot. He did not repeat. 1 was short. Notice the layout, notice the spread. Quite a bit different from when he hits them perfect. Must have caught him a little thin. Yeah, definitely caught him a little thin. Cue ball went much lower on the 9 there. Passed it. And that's what created the 1 coming short. Yeah, I like what he did there. He used the inside of the pocket, or the lower right side of that pocket, to draw that line back to get where he did on the 2. Wearing the beanie. Gomez. Yeah, a little tick in the back arm. He's had that from time to time. Could be a bit of fatigue right now. I mean, obviously, unbelievable amount of pool that they've been playing. Yeah, look at this. This is almost like a drill. Just roll forward, just roll forward. Now he just pinches back. 8 will play in the upper left. You can track 2 rails towards it off the 7 or just come straight back. Probably didn't want to fall dead straight on the 7. Looks like he can get to the rail here. Oh, he is dead straight. Handled this very smoothly. Very smoothly. So a dry break from Gorst is going to result in a game on the board for Gomez. Look at those numbers. Gomez a 790, Fargo, Gorst an 846. They've got him at 84% to win this match. Gomez at 16%. Numbers don't lie. Over time, this is what it is. I know I say it a lot, and I gotta say it again. If I could get that price at the window, I'd probably be running there with my money right now. Because Gomez plays well good enough to beat Gorst in a race to 9, even trailing 2-1. One thing he will need to do is pick up this break shot a little bit. He's got to catch him fuller. Missed the one to the left side by some margin last time. Oh, and a big adjustment there. Caught him full. Really got into the cue ball. Does he get... Oh, and the 6 rocked upwards on the Accu-Rack, so it opened the 2 up to the right side. You take a look. Almost like he used an inside ball there, and a lot of these guys have been doing that. I mean, an inside cue ball on the break. Watch the 6 here. Whoopsie daisy. Allows the blue 2 to go straight in. Didn't even move the rack. Will now. 5 plays in either corner, I believe. Just needs to get down for the 4. That ball just continued to roll these tables, playing pretty quick. Could come back and forth to the side if you wanted. You can drag up. Yeah, I just felt like dragging that way. You could risk getting a little close to the 5. 5 did play in the right side. I felt like it was more natural to just punch 1, 2 over that upper left long rail. Now he's got some work to do. I don't know. Yeah, it was so thin. Could have really just actually pinned him up behind the 6. Didn't have to play that ball. Kind of just forced himself at it. Looked like to me a little bit of frustration maybe with the position. Sometimes that'll get to you and just force you to stay aggressive. That's really where the elites, and that's a nice little bump on the green, but that's where the elites kind of shine in certain areas where, you know, a guy just a little bit under, even a guy like myself who's way under, might take the heat from a poor positional play and go ahead and go with the offensive, whereas the elite players will recognize the percentage play and just take the defensive stab versus risking everything or taking the steam and making a big mistake. Those are the little things you cannot do versus a guy like this. Game number 4, going to go to Gorst. After Roberto broke the balls really well, was looking very good, just overrun his mark with the cue ball on the 5. Yeah, take another look. So if he just comes back over to the left side of the table there, much easier and a big window to play the 5 to the right side. When you dive down on the cue ball that way, going one rail towards the 5, it's all about the pace. Here, I just feel like he was really kind of forcing the issue. Yeah, going into the 6 heavy, overcut the 5, just so much going on. But you're kind of splitting your focus towards making the ball. Good stuff there. And what a final that U.S. Open final was with Gorst. That was his final major, 2024, and I'll tell you what, I think a lot of people were polling for Shane just because of the number 6, but I don't think there's anybody else in the world that they'd have had win it besides Shane more than Gorst. Such a likable guy, great representative of the sport. Earl Strickland, 39 years old when he won number 5. There's another look at the break. The 2 stayed down low. He did get the 1 in the right middle. 39 years old when he won number 5. Shane is now going to be 44, going at number 6. That is a tall order, but I'll tell you what, the kid is a machine. Yeah, looking at the rollout here, is he looking for kind of a piece of a jump here on the rollout? Wants that to run. I don't think he's going to get this back. Couple of options, all depends on how much of the 2 he can really see. Yeah, very, very good. And Gorst definitely did not want him to be able to see all of the 2 like that. Huge wall with the 6, 9, and 7. Used the 3 to stop the 2. A lot of amateurs or players even at my level might go to kick the 2 in here. I feel like Gorst might go to kick it full. No, he actually went to kick it in. All right, that makes me feel a little better about myself. 2 does not pass the 3. Pays to hit him. Can you wedge him behind the 3? It's kind of a drag stroke. Very well done. Something that Gomez is great at is tight areas. Excellent or very improved on his cue ball in the last 5-6 years. Plays a lot of one pocket. He was more of a 9-ball player, and you gotta wonder, I talk about it quite a bit, you gotta wonder, you just don't see too many greats that play at the highest level of both games, or at least you never did in the past. The Filipinos were kind of out on their own when it came to that. Bustamante, Pagulayan, obviously Efren. Those guys could play both games really at the highest level, even Jose Perica. But it's tough to do. Guess what I'm getting at there is when Gomez started playing one pocket, it seemed like to me that just a bit of his rotation game might have suffered. There's all types of reasons for that. It could get better for amateurs, but it could get worse for elites. Big jump over the 3. It's close here. Yeah, elevated he is. perfectly straight up and down. Might have been at a 90, I guess. But no less than that. Going back to that, though, I feel like possibly messed with Roberto's stroke just a little bit. Not necessarily in a real negative way, but when you're just playing a rotation game, or as that's all you play, the stroke stays nice and fluid. There's a fine line between that and a little punchy once you start playing a lot of one pocket, because you do tend to roll balls around a little bit more, tend to get in tight areas, tend to really focus more on the speed of the cue ball versus what you're doing with the object ball. And that can mess with your stroke if you're strictly a rotation player. Back in my era, you almost had to choose one or the other. You couldn't really, or you didn't really feel like you could do both at the highest level. Now you've got guys like Fedor and Gorst, and these type of guys, well, they're a little different. They just don't miss, and they're great with the cue ball at all times, no matter what they're playing. Squeaked it into the low side of the pocket, but did very good to hold the cue ball. Kind of feel like this is a must-win game for him. Coming out 2 rails here? Thought he could just come 1 rail up. Nothing wrong with it. And squeak that into any firmer, that 8 will not hold up. This game is going to hold up for Gomez, trailing by 1. 3 games to 2, Gorst leading. Yeah, another look. Look at how elevated he is here, literally at a 90. Landing on the 2, just hangs it up, caught it a little fat. But so impressive. If he gets it down, he's got a great shot on the 3. I don't think a guy like myself would even consider jumping that ball. And speaking about jumping in Gorst, he has completely led the charge in elevating the jump game. You know, you look at the top 10 players, top 15 players in the world now, they all jump at spectacular levels. It's insane how good they are with the cue ball and position and accuracy. Okay, pretty interesting there. It's a 6 gonna go, it is. Pretty interesting, the 1 went long, but the cue ball finished short. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. Cue ball finished past the 9 long, and the 1 finished long past the side, and the cue ball finished up past the rack, so don't quite know what to make of that. He pinched that ball. The Gorst effect is real. It's hard to breathe up there at times. Does he use the 8 here? Very good. Very, very good. Had to catch the 1 pretty full. Any thinner, he probably loses the cue ball. Gomez not entertaining the jump. Don't blame him. I don't see how you could get the 1 away from anything with the 4 where it is. Yeah, just kind of wants to slam into this and hope for the best, I think. Full contact. It's not going to get it done. Caught the underside of the 1. Everything really wide open. for Gorst. The 3 does pass the 9. I think what he's looking at here is just to get out past where the cue ball is now, or at least where it is now. Could stay below it or on the left side and play the 3 up or down here into the lower left or in the left side pocket. Maybe the one a little steeper than it looks the way he's eyeing it down. I feel like it's pretty natural. Yeah, it was pretty natural. Just gave it a lot of time. Maybe recognizing that was the most important play. Notice his cueing here on the final delivery. Goes down on the ball. Not too many players do that. He's been doing it since a young age. Same situation here. Almost looks like a center touch of inside, then goes low. Wow. That ball did pass the 9, full pocket. So just pinched it a little bit into the rail. Might be forced to kick behind this. Couple options. If you kicked one rail behind the 3 and kind of caught the 3 first, you could have some good things happen. If you want to go to the second rail, it's okay. Yeah, if you're going to this right long rail first, watch that upper left corner in the scratch. Unless he wants to... Oh boy, he's got to elevate here. Let's see what he's thinking. Pretty good. I know he'll take it. Yeah, pretty mindful as well. The 4 and 9 where they were, you just kind of did a, I guess what you would call a kick and stick with an inside ball. Does Gorst attack here to the cross corner? Yeah, he sure did. Stunned the cue ball down and back up as well. Yeah, really on that bank shot, just stunning the cue ball past the 8 like that. I don't know that he knew that it was that steep. He obviously knew the aim point on the 4 was correct. I don't know that he knew he was going to lose the cue ball that far down and back up. Neither here nor there. Very accurate with the bank. Coming all the way around here, I assume. Yeah, a little weak. Cue ball did get off the rail, so really just has to drop out anywhere towards that top center side of the table. Can come to the long rail first and out. Nothing wrong with it. All the focus goes into potting the 5. And this is one you want to aim to the left side of that pocket, or the pro side. You do not want to overcut this. It will hold up. And look at that. This is exactly what happens on these tables. At that speed, once they get some play, some might say 4.5 inch pockets are big, but they're not really that big. Diamond has the best angle or cut in the pocket in the world with the deep shelf. You better be accurate. Just overcut it a touch and held up. So I believe that's 3 total balls missed this rack. This is early on. Gomez missed the 1. Then Gorst missed the 3. Gorst just missed the 5. Getting it out of their system. But a pretty big rack to do it in. we are going to be all tied up at 3 apiece. And I can't stress enough in these guys' defense fatigue. And take a look, he just catches the corner just a bit, maybe trying to cheat the cue ball out towards the left side of the floor a little bit more. There's the kick and stick. Pretty aware of where the 8's at, though. Kind of like it all along. And Gorst punching the 3 in, sending the cue ball down. He made a reaction there as he was walking back, like he did not realize the cue ball was going to track that far forward. Alright, he was long with the 1 past the side last time. Straight in the heart, but watch the cue ball. I don't know, it had to have got a kiss. I can't imagine it just went 2 rails clean into the upper right. Oh, it did. So he had outside on it for sure that time. And that spin took off the second rail, sending the cue ball into the upper right, and Gorst quickly to the 2. I cannot blame him. You can't expect him to misstep in this rack. He's not going to miss too many balls in a set. He missed 2 in the last rack. I would be surprised to say he misses 2 more the rest of this set. Gomez is all too familiar with that. Yeah, so you really just need to make a decision on the 5. You'd like to get just past the 9. If you can stay low on the 6 for the side, that is where you want to be. Anywhere right of the 8 is perfect. That gets you to the 7 without any trouble. Yeah, and this will be just fine. A little firmer than I thought. Plenty of room. I like the time he takes, though. And this is why he wins so many tournaments and why he's going to be so good for so long. Notice him look at the line. He wants to be on the 8. Even though the 8 is really right in front of that top left corner. He evaluates everything, overlooks his positions and where he wants to be. And just taking that little extra amount of time will settle you down as well. Doesn't mean he has to be slow when he's over the ball. But just being sure of what you're doing makes such a big difference at this level. Maybe a bit of a decel there. It will not cause any problems. A big scratch from Gomez in game number 7 off the break. And I was touching on it just a little bit ago. You know, they are into, midway of the 9-ball event. And if you haven't been to the Derby City Classic, I highly recommend you experience it at least once in your life. And if you'd like to, give it a shot and play. Anybody can play any of the events. Upwards of just over 500 players in each event. It is absolutely incredible. But if you continue to win, you continue to play. So the bank pool will start to overlap with 1-pocket rounds, then you get deep in the 1 pocket, and it'll overlap with the 9-ball rounds, and you'll get plenty of pool in. Let's just say that. But that's what the Derby City Classic is all about. Yeah, short with the 1. Did get the 4 down. It's going to be covered up on the 7. Roll out. Most likely coming. Take another look. And no kisses. Ideally, these guys want to go back and forth, flush into the 9. So both of these guys kind of dropping below the 9 after the break. He's just going to roll out to here. Really, what are you doing if you're Gomez? Testing Gomez. Don't think you can play this ball, but you could 2-rail it. Kind of like down towards the back of the 5 and 9, maybe with a tip of left. Go towards the 6 with the cue ball. I don't think Gorst plays it if he gives it back. But we'll find out soon. He's not dressing the cue ball with any outside here, so he might be playing it. Okay, he's just going to bank it up. Use the 2 and 8. Pretty clever. Very clever. Roberto overlooked one there. Very simple. See the shake of the head from Gomez. He's like, man, how did I not see that? Well, I didn't even see it. That's my job. He's gonna get away with this. And I believe he just has. And if not, it's close. Jump cue is coming out. Moritz Neuhausen in our screen. Great young player from, I believe, from Germany initially. Look for his name to find the top of the charts over the next few years. Now, this is one that I would say he's close to 50% to make. You almost make him a slight favorite because I don't believe he's got to get all the way over the 3. Yeah, really quick. I think he maybe obviously mishit the cue ball a little bit. I don't know that he was trying to draw that. Maybe just tried to stop it. Kind of got into the cue ball a little more than he expected. Now you just want to avoid the green 6 here. I'd steer clear of it to the right side if you can. A little inside off this bottom rail. Or can you come between the 6 and 8? And he's just going to steer clear, but that needs to settle. Cut the 1 much thinner than he'd liked. It tracked into the top side of the side pocket versus the lower side or the middle. I guarantee you this is steeper than it looks. Much steeper than it looks. I don't even know. It's due to where the 3 is. I guess you can chop it on the side, but tell you what, this is extremely thin. I don't know that you can play it. Earlier on, he had something similar to this, took it on towards the side and overcut it. This is where a great player will recognize where he's at. He's only trailing 4 games to 3. Can you find something that really locks Fedor down? You feel like you have to go. I think if he's keying in with a lower ball, I think he's looking to maybe cross-side bank it. I don't know. One thing I do know, I like the time that he's taking instead of trying to force something. He did cross-side bank it, but there's a big problem, and it's that maroon 7 ball. It was always going to be there, and you know you're going into the 8, so he kind of took a chance, not certain on any position. What do you do here? Just float the 3 down past the 7 up to the top rail and lay the cue ball down on the right side and allow Fedor a pretty easy kick? Yeah, I guess that's all he's got. But boy, does he even almost let him see the 3, I feel like. Consider here just softly kicking at this 3, just kind of rolling on top of it, forcing Gomez to shoot away from it. Because of where the 5 is at, you've got a little bit of room for insurance, right? Just really just kind of laying the cue ball on top of the 3, getting it to the rail. Not going to leave Gomez anything. The defensive play could be tougher than it looks. You can lay him down on top of the 3 here. Most likely not going to do that. These great rotation players don't typically look at soft rolling anything on the defensive end when they're kicking. Might not think about it either. But you could definitely soft roll this. Is he looking to use the 7 here? No, that went awry. Trying to do a little too much, I believe. I think he was trying to just clip the 3 and come up behind the 7 with the cue ball. He was fortunate to get that down. I was surprised he elevated. Thought he could just go forward into the 5. And he's got to punch out 2 rails. Did well. Did really well. He can come 1 rail out now. Stayed solid through that stroke. No movement in the back arm. Body stayed still. Back to Gorst's shot. I think he was just trying to trim the 3 and send the cue ball up behind the 7, but requires a real thin hit. And you've got to catch the 3 first, obviously. Doesn't want to fall straight. It's good here. Draw up the right side of the table. Or even better, had more angle than it looked. Tied up again, 4 games apiece after game number 8. Yes, I think he's just trying to paper thin this ball. Obviously, send the cue ball up behind the 7. I like the thought process, but just so tough to judge at that speed off that right long rail. Fedor typically, well, not typically, in my opinion. Yeah, I think Shane Van Boening is close. Tactically, I think pool IQ-wise, Fedor is up there. Even for his age, I think he is probably top 2 in the world. So I don't know that he overlooked just softly rolling on top of the 3. I think he just wanted to do a little bit more than that. That's why he attempted what he did. And we can kind of see what happens when you mishit the rack. The spreads are much different than typical. If you get the 1 down, you hit them flush. The layouts are much different than when you mishit them just a little bit, and you can almost hear those. Didn't look like he got into them too bad, but the layout's just odd. He was just short with the 1. Gorst quickly pushing out to that top rail there. And you've got to believe that Gomez will not give this back. Now the 1 is not frozen. It's in a big ball position. I'm a little surprised that Gorst quickly went to this push out. Because I think if you just catch the rail first, the 1 becomes a big ball here. I can't believe he tried to go into that ball first. In my opinion, maybe Gorst knew something we didn't. But boy, you get the cue ball off the rail if you make the 1 there by going rail first. And I think the 1's a much bigger ball to make by going rail first. So maybe overlooked 1. I know Fedor didn't. And the table playing awfully quick. Looked like he barely hit that. Did end up okay. Yeah, and the 1 ball, I'll go back to that. If it ends up costing him the match, such a difficult shot to go into ball first, especially off that back rail the way he was. If you knew Fedor was going to shoot it like that, you'd give it back. I would never take the 1 in that position going ball first. I just feel like, boy, any little mishit, and that ball's not going to fall. Something Fedor will constantly do is go out of his way to use an outside cue ball. Very good at it. Carries the outside cue ball line just about everywhere he goes here. We'll track 2 rails. Real comfortable with the outside ball like most pros, but he goes out of his way to use it. In situations where you feel like, I might be able to pinch this with an inside ball, he'd rather send the cue ball a little bit further in certain situations and use a low outside or a center outside. And there's a lot of benefits to it. Needs that to carry. I think he's just got there. Interesting. So he was a little short, just came out towards the center. Probably naturally tracks 4 rails here towards the 8. Could dig into it, draw out 2 rails, but I think it's pretty natural to go 4. He made a liar out of me. He went 3. almost to the fourth. So 4 games apiece. Gorst immediately pushes out to a long 1 ball for Gomez. Gomez missed it by quite a ways, where I felt like he could have played it rail first. And I mean, I had a pretty good line at the ball from this angle. Here's another look. See, the 1 is not frozen. You catch the rail right before the 1 there, and it makes it such a bigger pocket. You just have no escape with the cue ball if you actually hit that clean the way he was aiming it. He's going to have more distance and still be on the long rail, which could have been tough, very tough. So he would have had to come with at least 2 long good shots instead of 1. Kind of just been a little bit of a battle back and forth. But Gomez has had a few opportunities to take the lead and not got it done. Sooner or later, you've got to feel like those opportunities might get a little less. There's the break that he's looking for. If he can break him like that every time, and I don't care what the 7 ends up doing, he's not happy about that. But look at where the cue ball's finished. He got into these extremely clean. Cue ball tracked back and forth into the 7, which ended up being the ball that snookered him. That is the hit he's looking for, just not the result. But look at this. Is he going to test him with a long jump now? The funny thing about this is the 4 is down here. So if you make the 2, you're golden. He's tricking his man. Roberto is laughing and saying something to Fedor. Roberto does not want to give it back. But I'll tell you what, it's not something you have to shoot. You can give it back. It is off the push out. But I think that this is something that Fedor is very good at. Forcing their opponents to go, applying the pressure. They know if they give it up, Gorst might make it. Yeah, off by a long shot. Fedor going to earn a look at the 2. It's a long one. It's off angle. The cue ball is way down here. Got to beat the left side pocket here with a low right ball, I believe. Easy to miss, and that's where he's putting his finger. This is another one where you want to catch the pro side of the pocket with the ball here. You do not want to catch this ball anywhere near fat. Boy, if he hits this good, not too many people can. Yeah, look at that. A little quick. He would probably agree. Maybe a little quick in the final swing. Didn't hit it bad. He did catch it on the pro side. Just a little thin. But I think that's the way you want to miss it, right? catch it fat, it most likely hangs up in the top right corner versus escaping out of there. Yeah, what has he got? Now we can see a piece of the right side of the tube, but how much of it? Never really felt like you could get him behind the 5. He's got him behind a lot of the 9. Side pocket actually a big problem here. He'd love to be able to bank the 2 down here towards the 4 and maybe use the 8 to provide some type of cover, because he's going to go into the 8. I just can't tell how much of the 2 he can see here. Yeah, so he's trying to get it down here to the bottom rail. Caught it a little thin. And this is your chance to tie it back up, Roberto. It's in your hands. But still pretty tricky. How do you avoid the 4, or do you just go into it face first? You come behind the 4 and hit it. Could end up with no shot. He's overcut the 2. Really, I think that was all along, because where he was going into the 4, he didn't exactly know. If he catches the 2 a little fatter, he comes in behind the 4 a lot heavier. Easy to come away with nothing after making the 2 there, so it was definitely awkward. Yeah, he might be drawn straight out of the pocket here. Thought he could go rail first and just play the 4 to the left side. Oh, what a great hit. What a great hit that was. Wants to find the gap between the 6 and 8. Can you draw into that gap, or do you have to punch out? Much better if you could draw into the gap. Speed is perfect. Stroke there as well. Got the most out of it with the outside ball. Looked pretty straight to me. The less power, the more the cue ball takes off that top rail. Definitely got the most out of it. Just doesn't want to fall straight on the 7. He was aware of that. Maybe a little steep. He'll get it done. Wants to avoid any traffic with the 9. ball's not frozen, that's why he's giving it so much attention. Gotta catch it clean. Look how level he keeps the cue. Wow. Wow. Really did not expect it. Overcut the 7. Just a touch, and it's not going to fall. Unexpected, really, there. Just come up a little bit short on the 6 to the 7, which created that. He just didn't want to get straight on the 7. Good stroke. Very good. Once again, I believe it's been at least 3 times we've been tied. We're all tied up. 5 games apiece. He had to hit the 7 clean, going in obviously, but just overcut it a touch. This pro cut pocket on the diamond table held it up. Here's a look at the 2 he's trying to play down here to the bottom rail. Caught it a little thin as well. So maybe a case of the thins. Roberto actually, with that replay, overcut the 2 by a long shot. Here's a look at the 7. Yeah, you just never expect him to miss that ball. He didn't expect it either. But he's human. They're both human. Both been playing for a long time. Probably, well, let's just say 7 straight days we're going on it. Boy, he would love a roadmap here. Big let up in the swing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll get a replay. Watch the back arm here. Yeah, the arm come up. That's how the cue ball finished so much higher. Some type of a let up there, though, in the swing. Hard to tell in the actual slow motion replay. But at regular pace, there was definitely a decel of some type. And he's had opportunities, Gomez, to take advantage, to take the lead. They say in Europe, when somebody has chances and doesn't make it happen, they bottle it. Well, I guess I'm going to say he bottled it, or he is bottling it. It's not over. It's a long ways from it. After 10 games, we're all tied up. But he better stop bottling it. We've got a few terms for that in the States. He and Roberto having a bit of fun. That's great to see. Something is funny. Gorst. Actually a really funny kid. Got a great sense of humor if you get to know him. Oh, look at this decision. Kind of what I was touching on earlier. He could have played the one to the left side or the top right. Never even considered it. The line was always there to lay him up behind the 4. Gomez once again with his back against the wall. You catch the far half of this 1, most likely going to scratch. So you've got to really kind of hit it going in or our side of the 1. He wants to bend the cue ball. Boy, it seems tough. I might use left English going below the right side. Oh, he was able to come 4 rails. Can we get another look at that? So he was able to bend that below the 2, I guess. Oh yeah, plenty of room to bend. So he arced the cue ball below. Great hit. The 1-9 did lay up though. Does he take it on? It's pretty awkward. Can he get a good cue ball? I think he's got to take this on. Maybe play the cue ball behind the 5 and 3? Or does he play the carom? Play the 1 behind the 2? How about none of it? Just cinch him up behind the 9. Roberto didn't like the way that tasted. Once again, talking about Gorst pool IQ. Noticing all along that the 8 was always going to cover the 1 up, causing massive problems. The 2, also a big problem, so you can see the line that he's looking at. Gap between the 2 and 8. That's all he's got. So he's going to have to spin this with an extreme left and aim just above the rack. No fun. Yeah, and the problem here is the harder you hit it, the less time the cue ball has to take or bend off the long rail. Just gotta watch how hard he hits this. Oh wow, you could not do any better. You could not ask for any more than that. He has left a look. Don't believe the 2 passes the 8 in the left middle. If it does pass, he can come all the way back if he feels more comfortable. Very tough to hold on the right side of the table for the 2 in the upper left. All he's got to do really is avoid the 6 though. First part of the job, as we've already seen, these pockets can play snug if you catch the long rail going in. It's getting this 1 down. We are snookered by Hustlin' USA. He's gotten a rub off the 6. He does have a look at the 2. Can't tell how steep he is on this ball. Can he level out and miss the 8? Or even use the 8? Starting to wonder if those guys are playing one pocket. They seem to be at that end of the table an awful lot. But if he's got to elevate here, it could be very, very tricky. Angle might be a lot steeper than it looks to us. Okay, he does have to elevate. Two rails towards the 7? Yeah. Caught a piece of the 7. Did he get away with it? Drama. Big drama. Going to the jump cue. And really, this feels like the moment in the match where things could go good or bad for Gorst, good or bad for Gomez. Gomez has been trailing the entire match. At best, he's tied it up multiple times with multiple opportunities. Cutting this into the side. Oh my. How does it finish? Not good enough, but what a great jump shot that was. Had to back cut it a little. Basically landed on the ball there, and look at the arc that he had on the cue ball. Got into it as good as you really could. He's not thrilled about it, but still at the table. Can you just bank it 1-2, kind of like down towards the center diamond on the top rail? Just use the 6, 8, 7. Can you get it past the 8, maybe one rail? Yeah, he's using it twice. I don't know. Felt like he cut that a little bit more than he meant. And Roberto make it. I am convinced they're playing one pocket. But I would doubt it. We're into round 5 of the 9 ball. I'm kind of joking. Boy, what an opportunity if he can make this ball. It seems like he's had chances practically every game they've been tied up. Quickly over the ball, though. Yeah. Very thick. Don't believe that's what he was playing. A little bit of a grin from Gorst. Yeah. Maybe they're just not going back to their chairs, these guys. Or they could be playing 9 ball and a lot of defense up at this end. It seems to me like Fedor and Roberto have been waiting on them, well, almost as much as I have. That makes any sense. Pretty certain they're not really playing one pocket. Fedor trying to keep himself warm and moving. I can't tell how much of the purple 4 he can see, if any. We're going to find out pretty soon. Okay. Can he bank it back up and down past the 6? Past the 6. Well, he's got it past the 6. He didn't mean to catch the 8. But he did great with the 4. If he doesn't catch the 8, Roberto is in a world of trouble. I think the cue ball would have finished behind the 8 or somewhere behind the 6 and 8. Once again, pretty quick. All right. Yeah, I think, you better make sure you know what you're doing at this percentage or at this point in the match. It seems like you've gotten a little quick at times. Could be tired. Makes sense. You're not going to get a lot of looks. No. unfortunate rub off the 9. Roberto had to swerve at the 4 in his defense. Boy, this is messy. Real messy. I don't think you can cut at it no matter what, even if it was frozen. 6 is in the way. Can you bank the 4 like you're banking it back towards the 7? Run the cue ball into the back of the 9 and just hope for the best. Can you thin the right side of it? Boy, it seems thin. Just come back around. Boy, that is paper thin. How can he just bank it back down? I didn't think he could see the left side of this ball. Okay. I don't know. I know he was playing the 6 and 7 for cover. I don't know that he meant to extend the cue ball that far. But he's going to get it done. Do you have a plan, Roberto? That's not terrible. By any means. What a crazy game this has been. Both players really fighting. Fedor did make a cross corner like this earlier. And I believe the 3 ball. Could go back and forth, but the problem is the green 6 is huge to go back and forth. Could draw. And just cinch the 5 if you could. Excuse me, the 4. Maybe you can track 1, 2 across the 6, but boy, I feel like you've got to hit that so sweet. Cue ball typically wants to drop on you a little bit towards us on this play. Okay, he's leveled out, so he's going to go back and forth. Yeah, and he just kind of gambled there, and what a clean hit on the 4. He knew if he missed the 6 on the top side that the cue ball had a real good chance of getting a look on the 5. Caught the 7 full coming back, still got work to do. Speaking of the 7, he missed a 7 similar to this a few games ago, but actually, this is much more difficult. I guess I shouldn't say this is much more difficult. Fedor loves the outside ball. He could maybe dig into this with a little bit of a low left. Kind of helps the 5 towards the pocket. Opens the pocket up a little bit. We'll see if he chooses to use a high ball or not. Giving it a lot of time. Gotta respect that at his level. Knows how clean he's got to hit this ball. The 4 was just as tough. Yeah, much better. Needs a hop here. Just took the distance on the green. Putting in the work is Gorst. Looks like he is going to pinch back and just take the cut on the 7. Might be straighter than I think here, actually. Yeah, dead straight. Very, very good. Once again. When it has to be done, he's getting it done. Great shot on the 4, great shot on the 5, and then comes with a long one on the green 6. Now just a matter of picking up the pieces. But for me, it was really all about the 4 ball. Just leveling out, going back and forth above the 6, and hoping for the best on the 5, then coming with the 5. 2 big shots there for Fedor Gorst. Once again in the lead after game number 11. What's interesting to me, though, we'll go back to it. Here's a great look at the 4. Look at the cue ball arc. It tends to want to drop down on you, but he got it past the 6, and that was really his first priority. Leveled out on the 5, which is hard to do. You really got to trust that back arm. And obviously the long ball on the 6, but he was pretty good there all along. Just want to touch on the Fargo, or the percentage. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Gorst was leading 2-1, and Roberto was at 16%. Now he's trailing 6-5, and he's at 19%, so I guess that is all due to the race getting closer or shorter, would be my assumption. Neither here nor there. Gorst would like to get the 1 down and a look on the 2. He's got the 5 down and a look on the 1. But it doesn't seem to be a lot of fun. He's over the 3. Yeah, and the cue ball tracked perfectly into the 9. So I don't know. He caught those just a fraction thin, but the 1 did not get down. It got past the side. Elevated over the 3 here. Does he even have a pocket? Doesn't seem like much. It might go to the top side. He's acting like it does. This is where I think Gorst really shines. The back arm, so solid, stays so straight. No body movement. 3 is a problem. Is he forced to play it? Is there anything else? He's looking to elevate in power just towards the 4 versus roll it. Couldn't fault him with that decision. Scary to roll this ball over the 3. Yeah, he's going to power it if he plays it. Yeah, looking to power into the 4 here. Wow. Wow. The triple Lindy. He's made the 2 and the 4 in the lower right. Let's see how this happens. Okay, he's double kissed the 2 with the 1, and he caromed the 4 in to the lower right. And for good measure, he 3-railed the 1 into the left side. This might be the best shot in the history of the Derby City Classic. This is actually very funny. I had no idea what was going on there, and I don't think he did either. What he's talking about now is how does the 1... Oh, I see what they're talking about. I did notice he moved the 3 as he went over the ball. During his delivery, the 3 moved, and it did move. Now what Roberto is saying is that the 1 went 1-2 past the 3 into the left side, and it did. So let's take another look. Can we get another look at the shot? I'm sure we'll get another look. Watch the 3. Okay. It moved substantially to the left. Oh boy, it really did. It moved to his left, our right, substantially. Roberto is absolutely correct here. Can we get one more look at it? Thank you. Keep an eye on the 3. All right, it moved at least an inch. I tell you what, I really have no dog in this fight, but the 3 could have easily been in play of the track that the 1 was on. Typically, that would be a foul. That being said, they both worked it out. There was no ref at the table. I'm sure Fedor was aware that he moved the 3, but probably didn't feel like he moved it at all. Like, just tickled it. It did move. Yeah, considerably. What a crazy scenario that just was. I do believe if there was a ref at the table in that situation, it would have been called a foul. But this is why TV matches are much more important. You can review them. This is pre-recorded. There's no way to go back to that at this point in time, and there wasn't a ref at the table. So realistically, the shot goes to the shooter if you're not watching it or having somebody watch it. What a crazy scenario. He makes 3 balls in 1 shot, has a shot on the 3. Does he go into the 8 here? Okay, drama. Now, he made a jump on a 3 ball like this not long ago. I believe it was last rack. These games are taking a while. And I would make him a 60, maybe a little higher than a 60% favorite to win, to make this. Wow. Roberto said, I can't believe you missed that jump. He better take advantage because I don't think Gorst is going to miss too much more. Overcut the 6 there. Gets down on the ball pretty quick. Little movement. Needs to run. Yeah, still real steep to the left side. The good news is that the 8 is down here low, so he can track 3 rails towards the center. Yeah, I think he even recognizes he's getting down a little quick. Roberto Not a slow player by any means, but not extremely fast either. Has a good pace. Did well there. It's going to crash into the 9. Wow, that tightened up, so tells me the cut was a little bit thinner than it actually looked. Pretty natural though, right? To come 3 rails just out towards the right side of the table. Level out here? Or are you going towards the 9 here if you level out? Might have to put a pinch of inside on it, which is pretty natural though from this line. I guess I'm talking about playing the 9 on the left side. Don't think you want to draw this. I know Fedor would most likely level out, just come 3 rails left of the 9 and out. And he caught the 8 a little thin. He got it down. Wow. What a crazy match this has been. And we're only into round 5. Tied up again. 6 games apiece. And here's one last look. Makes the 2 and the 4. The 1 tracks 3 rails to the left side. But during the play, the 3 was moved. Roberto called a possible foul. They talked about it. It went to Gorst. Then ends up hooked on the 6. Overcuts that. Gomez gets out. Crazy. And these guys are battling. This is why I love my job. These types of matches keep me on the edge of my seat. Plenty of drama. All sorts of crazy things going on. I felt like he mishit those pretty badly. The 1 come way past the left side. Yeah, look how thick this ball's hit, I believe. Caught it real heavy. Yeah, quite a bit heavier than normal. I think he got a kiss off the bottom of the 7 with the cue ball, and then another one there. And once again, fortunate to even get a ball down, but no look at the 1. He gives so much respect to Gorst's jump game that he's probably afraid to push out kind of just in front of him behind the 7. But I think that that's what you do here. You've got to test your man, apply the pressure back to him. And that's what he's looking at right there. He's just having a little bit of fun. I don't blame him. What do you do at this point? Besides laugh. But back to the shot, I feel like pushing out behind the 7, you know, you could just push out an inch or 2 to give yourself a good bridge off the back rail, or a little bit closer. But you've just got to let Fedor jump it in. Now he's overthought it. Yeah, I don't know if Fedor takes this on or not. He is quickly to the jump cue, so there's no questions. Hard to jump. Excuse me, hard to turn any jump down if you're Fedor Gorst. How does it finish? Yeah, at the 50-yard line. Okay, do you play the bank to the lower right and track the cue ball 1, 2, 3 behind the 7 and 2? It looks pretty natural, like in that area. And the only thing that can go wrong is hanging the 1 up, so you don't want to overcut this. You could just play the cue ball up in behind the 2 and 7 and not try to make the 1. So obviously available, but I think that it's pretty natural. How many chances are you going to get to take a lead in this match? I believe he's had 5 opportunities now. Look at this. This is the only way he's going to take the lead. He's fluked the 9 in the top right corner. My goodness gracious. And he hung the 1. What is going on? Look at the cue ball. Wow. I mean, it's hard for me to be at a loss for words, but I am almost to that point. Wow, what a crazy, crazy match this has been. You just felt like Roberto was never going to get over the line. He was bottling it, or as we say in the States, had a little dog in him. It seemed like he just couldn't get past that tied up point. Well, he fluked the 9 in. Does that loosen you up and move you on? Fedor not playing his best. Both players struggling, without a doubt. All right, well, he's returned it directly back into Fedor's corner. Ball in hand. Did he get a kiss or just go straight in? Wow, I don't know if we can get another look at that or not. I don't know what happened or how that cue ball ended up in there. That was wild. Neither here nor there. Scratch. Ball in hand for Gorst. But talking about Gorst, when he has to, he performs. When his back's against the wall, he gets it done. Credit where it's due, Johan Rusnik, Gorst's coach, and probably the best in the business when it comes to coaches. Fundamentals incredibly sound with Fedor Gorst. What he did in Saudi Arabia was amazing. He was trailing multiple matches by 4 or 5 games. I believe at one point trailing 7-1 in a match. Spectacular. Using the 9 there. Don't believe the 9 covered the 7 up. He isn't acting like it, so it has a clean pocket. Is he just worried about the angle here? Does he come back and forth? Yeah, I think he does. Couldn't hit it any better. 6 entered the pocket extremely clean. And he's landed perfect on the 7. So as quickly as Roberto finally got a lead, he couldn't wait to give it right back. And we are all tied up at 7 apiece. Here's another look at the break. I'm trying to see. Oh, it got kissed directly in off the 2. and he got the one down. That's pretty cold-blooded. So I take everything back I ever said, Roberto. I didn't mean it. Wow. This match has had it all. Trick shots, jump shots, 9-ball flukes. It's had it all. The sweater is coming off. I wonder if Roberto will take the beanie off. Yeah, I don't blame you, Fedor. It's been a lot, this match. And we're only in round 5. He'll be okay, though. He's in both finals of the Banks and the One Pocket. And he's gotten a golden break. Big Al, one of Gorst's sponsors and managers, said, Fedor, it's the shirt. Look at this. That is a patented break. That's exactly what you want. Cue ball tracked one round into the top of the 9 and made the 9. When I say Big Al, I'm talking about Alan Sword. Jason and Alan Sword are brothers. The crowd is loving it. But you kind of feel like he had that one coming. He hit him absolutely perfect. This is what Fedor does. Having a lot of fun. The shirt said golden break. And that's exactly what he delivered. Can he repeat it? I'll tell you what, he tried. That's exactly what he wants with the cue ball back and forth and then into the 9. He's done well. It's got a thin look on the blue too. Very thin. Watch the cue ball here. Below the 9 and back above it. Just catching a piece. This is no fun though. Might have to really just spin this in. It's real awkward, actually. I don't know if he can get past the 3. Cue ball's going to be hot. Unless you really dig into this with a left ball. Gotta catch the ball going in, obviously. Did he intend to go just into the 9 flush? How did he do? Definitely got a little bit more pace in his step now. So the scratch on the break from Gomez. At 7 games to 6, cost him 2, potentially 3, and the match 5 balls away from a 3-game shutout. And this is the shot here. What an opportune time to take the sweatshirt off, hold out the golden break, t-shirt, and then made a golden break. doesn't get any better than that. This match has been full of ups and downs, twists and turns. And in the end, the man with the shirt is going to get it done. Fedor Gorst going to move on to round number 6 without a loss. He's in the finals of the Banks, the 1 pocket, and potentially the 9 ball. I don't know that that's ever been done, but he's working on it. Roberto Gomez will go to the B side. He is still in. Thank you all for tuning in to this fun match. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon.